Previously on Azran 127.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 I know where this one is going. No! 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 This is not gonna be a good game. No! I'm sorry. Rain Code was like my worst game of the year that it came out. Yeah, it was such. Oh my god, no. And this looks just like that because it's the Danganronpa people again. Oh my god, it's another ghost. It's another raincoat. They're doing the Master Detective thing again. It's a tower defense. What? Absolutely not. Not touching that. No, don't go near it with a 10-foot pole. Good day.
This episode was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. Want to be part of it? Follow me over there. Alright, here's my first point against the game. Shinigami here is making light of cardboard. Cardboard is like everything I stand for, guys. Have you seen the Nintendo Labo panel? How dare she make light of it in such a way, as if it would be used for evil purposes. Let me introduce you to the protagonist of our game. As soon as I remember which button this works, it's over there on the left. It's Yuma Coco Head. Who came up with that ridiculous name? Just, what got into their brain? Coco Head? Is there some sort of joke here? I'm not laughing. Tetsuhiko here is your classic falling over girls all the time type. You know, the really annoying ones. And yes, you've had a few like this in the Danganronpa game, so I know that's a carryover from the same writing style. But it felt a bit more grating here because there's less characters to work with, and they put a lot of focus on this guy, especially in the chapter that I'm replaying tonight.
I'm the only one who gets to call Master useless!
Let me talk about that dynamic for a second. It is really something when your partner throughout the entire game is this ghost woman who insists on calling you her master and insulting you and berating you, and there's other little things that she will do, and I will show you them in due time.
What's going on in the bag? Hysterical!
Let me just say the word hysterical never really caught on.
Ta-da! Huh? Tetsuhiko?
I don't know why he looked so shocked. Surely he knew what the power was since he's their leader.
Wow, you totally look like Chief Yako.
And
What
it's
do
not
you
just
think?
looking.
The perfect disguise, huh? Mastery of disguise is my forte.
Oh, they're called fortes. My bad. Not using official terminology. But yeah, keep in mind that this guy can just make himself look and sound like anybody. And we've literally been sentenced to clean up other people's trash. This is the riveting gameplay that we are all here for.
Oh. This place is full of mysteries, and yet you're busy cleaning. That's stupid. Oh, I should have stayed asleep.
I
in
mean,
the book if
Shinigami
it was all
is
just gonna
no
end up like
Monokuma.
this.
As some of the earlier lines proved, I would say she's so much brattier.
Awful. I just have a bit of a mischievous nature is all. You don't respect the rights of a death god! I feel attacked!
Point made.
In the book?
The Book of Death. Oh, you probably don't remember that either.
Yep, got an old amnesia plot device. Not old at all by this point. There are several sequences in this game where you need to follow someone, and your movement speed is reduced significantly. This is as fast as I can go. And you're just waiting for, oh, here's the next spot to walk to. Oh, now go that way. And I cut it off a bit. There was a bit more walking before that. But the fact that this happens repeatedly during the game. Ah, here we go. I can show this sequence in more detail now because I'm still walking at my reduced speed. And I can't really do anything else. If you try and back away, as I did earlier, then... Wait, this time she's not pulling me back. What's going on here?
Wait, no! You'll be discovered if you go that way!
Which, true, you would be discovered if you go that way. I don't blame her, but... Here we go again with the escort. Oh yeah, this game has quick time events. Just in case anyone needed to know that. So, you know what would make this more of a game? Is if you had to control your own speed, because we have this little thing called analog movement. If it was like, okay, I understand why we're moving a bit slower here, because we want this person to keep following us and we don't want to lose them. So, put the player in charge of that. How's that for an idea?
What's with this little shrimp? Acting all friendly after getting caught.
Oh, no, wait. I remember why I hate it now.
Look at her. Every part of her is as flat as a board.
Because Shinigami just has to be that way.
What?
Like, why is she jealous? If she wants to be...
behind you.
Yeah, we're supposed to be her master, and we have this pact with her. There was never any romance. And, like, I'm sorry, I just find it kind of creepy that maybe some part of the team wants you to ship the main character with a death god. I understand that this girl makes a nice first impression, but come on, Yuma. This is a game where you are a detective. You need to be able to keep secrets. This is not doing that.
Hey, blabbermouth detective! You sure you should reveal your mission?
You know it's bad when I have to agree with her. I don't know what's worse. The fact that he just blabbed it to some random girl he just met, or the fact that that random girl just so happens to have the answer. Seemingly. Side note, anyone play Danganronpa 1? Does Kurumi bear any resemblance to Sayaka to anyone else? Like, I know, it's the same character designer. There's gonna be similarities. I mean, like, you look at half of Akira Toriyama's artwork, and you're gonna find similarities between a bunch of people, but there were 3 Danganronpa games, and then this came along, and whereas someone like Toriyama has got a lot of stuff. Like, a lot. The accusations up in here about the main character when he's done nothing of the sort. And, you know, the main character is supposed to be an extension of the player, so how do you think I feel? Sorry, fair point from my buddy in the chat. She's the one who is looking at the other person's chest and making judgments. The death god is the perv. We're gonna count. We're gonna stop and count. Calling her an airhead. Calling her an empty skull. That's 2. Okay, now it's flat and airhead, so we're up to 3 airheads and 1 flat. Flatty McFlatchest. That's like 2 flat chest insults at the same time. Oh, and then calling us a perv. Calling us a perv twice. Calling us a perv 3 times. And then we're back to flat chest and add in ugly. All in that short little scene.
What? I don't think...
Whatever.
What are you?
I'll have you know.
And now she's the one who's
I refuse to
angry.
use my powers I don't know what she wants you to do, but you're.
Fine. No
This
need
is
to
your
tell me
partner
twice.
for the entire
I'll
game.
Take care of it myself.
I'm sure you'll be begging for my help in no time.
Nope.
Go ahead and play detective with that flat-chested uggo while you.
Add another one to Flat and Ugly.
What's your problem?
I've done one side mission, but after 50 minutes of actual gameplay, we're just now getting to the actual case
Where's
of the
your school?
chapter.
Over there.
Everything else up to this point was clean the office, go buy me meat buns. There's someone stalking you. Oh, you're stalking her because you think she's pretty.
The school I attend is on top of.
Huh. So there's.
The bus
But this
is
girl
here.
does want us to
Let's
solve
get
an
on.
actual case, so now we're really getting on with the chapter. Add another one to Flat and another one to Ugly. There's a question about an equivalent to Danganronpa's free time, and there kinda is. There's these scenes you can unlock with the other main detective characters. The ones who you work with during the various chapters from the office at the beginning of this. You can unlock side cutscenes with them, but the game treats them as memories. Like, oh, these already happened at some point in the past. Because, you know, depending on when you find them, they might not make sense in the present. So it's just
This
like,
is
oh,
the
whenever
Area
this
Academy.
happened, it was in the
It's
past.
the only
Don't
all-girls
worry about
school
it.
in Kanai Ward.
But it's like a support conversation in Fire Emblem. And there's no, like, support level or anything. Or at least it doesn't do anything. But that's the closest thing to free time. This is just for something you can reference for a point that I'm going to make later in the video. But I do want you to keep in mind that we're looking at a dead body here. And if you played the Danganronpa games, you will remember that in those games, they had this art style choice where, to make the gruesome stuff a little easier to look at, the blood was changed to neon pink. And so that has been retained in Master Detective Archives, a game by the same people. Keep this in mind for later.
Girl cry so much she gets even uglier.
Add another one to the calling me a perv.
So, what does the girls' school smell like? Come on, tell me, man.
High school girls so young and cute.
This is heaven.
I could never stand people like this. Take one guess what's about to happen with Desahiko and Kurumi in the same spot. Go on. That laugh says it all, doesn't it? Eight. And... You had to have seen this coming, right? I don't know if this is a good opinion to have. This is a better design.
Yuma, you're so cute. Now we'll just look like friends when we're together.
Yeah.
And he'll be so happy that you're friends. Add another one. I told you
Your
this would
house
happen
this
multiple
way.
times.
Follow me, Yuma.
I didn't think it would happen multiple times this quickly, because it's been a while since I played. But here it is, happening again. And we're not sneaking around or anything. We're supposed to be here.
You're just doing what she says again? Wow, if you want to get on the flat-chested uggo's good side that badly.
Ding, ding. And the perv count increases. I apologize on behalf of the game that I have to give this warning, but, and this does go into one of my complaints with the game, I have to warn you that very early in the labyrinth there is going to be a scene involving botulism, so if that is something you cannot handle, then, you know, feel free to step away.
Why would I be in hell? Even when it comes to women, I always stop just shy of criminal activity.
Peak character traits, everybody.
Hey, let's hurry up and do, you know.
What does that mean? Is it something
Not family friendly?
It kind of is. Yep. Uh-huh. Just reach in there. Yep. Uh-huh. This is where we get our sword. Because, of course, we need a sword.
Hey, Yuma.
Okay,
me
so that
next,
thing,
yeah?
I kind of
Swap
skipped over the
places.
dialogue. Jessahiko just mentioned a new king. That is my number one thing. They wiggle way too hard into those. This game is nothing but them. And I know they've always hinted at those sorts of things in like Danganronpa and stuff, but it's so elevated here. I mean, we just had a throat situation.
Next
He
up
wasn't
is
listening.
materializing the solution.
Oh, here we go. Materializing the solution keys. That's someone's
Here you
king.
go, Master.
That's why they did it. There's no other reason, narratively, why you need to have her do that to give you the key. So after the chapter, your partner won't remember what happened here, but this is the stupid thing. So I'm walking through this hallway, you got all these visual effects going on. Okay, sorry, I needed to finish my complaint about the entrance here. So you see this, and you see it like the first time, and you think, oh, it's actually pretty cool. But they reuse this exact same set of visual assets for every mystery labyrinth. Every time you're going through, you're just forced to walk through this looping animation of the exact same thing, and it's really just so they can fill time with the dialogue. And I'm pretty sure it even happens multiple times in the same labyrinth, so I'll be sure to bring that back up if it does. I'm going to leave this screen in the video for a couple seconds. It probably speaks for itself. Moving on. And that's a +1 to the flat-chested Uggo. We're about to enter the first mini-game. If you have played the Danganronpa series, you know that the class trial is divided into several sections. You got the ones where you gotta shoot the inconsistencies with the correct truth bullet. And then there's like the hangman stuff, and yeah, all that is pretty much present here in some way. This is... I have to remember how to do this.
How foolish.
This is the equivalent of shooting stuff with the truth bullets,
Get in my way
except
and
you
you'll
have a
be
sword,
executed.
and you have to dodge
You dare
stuff
defy me?
from the left and right.
It's
And the movement
clear
just
who the
feels
culprit
so
is.
awkward. So I have to slash the statement that doesn't make sense.
It's clear who the culprit is.
That claim doesn't hold up.
Now in that case, I didn't actually have to present any evidence against that point. I just had to say it was the wrong one. So we're in another reasoning deathmatch here, proving that this current case wasn't suicide. And I want to point out something about these statements. We're trying to prove that it wasn't suicide. And just like in Danganronpa, you're supposed to slice the thing that's not true. Well, if it wasn't a suicide, it was a homicide. So you would think that would be an incorrect statement and that you should get credit for that. However, what you don't realize is that there's a completely different statement afterwards that's more specific that you do have to slash. So if you're not like listening to this whole thing first, then you're probably going to get tripped up by something, and you're probably going to be left with the taste of, why didn't I get credit for that? I wasn't technically wrong.
I wanted to die on stage.
This is just one example of it happening in the game, but I remember feeling that way a good number of times.
This is the truth.
Here's another forced walkie
Actually,
bit,
I was thinking about that. Maybe it's wrong
except
to
without
think
as
the
many
poison
cool
was in
visual
the
effects
glass
from the
itself.
labyrinth. Now you just have the
Yeah,
students
the
fading out
peacekeeper said
as
the
we
same
go through
thing.
this very plain blue hallway.
Poison was only found on the victim's glass.
Oh, right. If that's the case, it narrows down
mean,
the
I could stop
possibilities
moving.
for Hal by a lot.
But don't
It's
let your
not really
guard
forcing
down.
me to move, it's just that if I
Unraveling a
want to
mystery
move, I am
labyrinth
forced to
is
move
never so
that
simple.
slow. And even if I stop, I'm still going to have to keep going and going and going and catch up with where the game wanted me to be until they decide, okay, now the hallway can end, or it can make us turn in a different direction. Dun 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 dun. Obvious pop culture reference. Welcome to multiple choice quick time.
It's this door.
If you don't have a full grasp on the case by that point, you are probably going to pick something wrong.
Master,
Like,
place the glasses on the shelf.
you won't see it in the final video version, but I did pick something wrong because I thought it had to be during the play because of the whole thing we went through before about how it loses its potency after enough time, so how could it have been before the play? But now we're saying it is. And so sometimes it just feels like I'm stumbling on the solution instead of actually solving the case. Yeah, that's right. When Danganronpa gave you a multiple choice question, they actually gave you like a couple minutes on a timer to think about it, and you could slowly make sure that you're selecting the right one. But in this game, you have a mere couple of seconds as the wheel around the button prompt fills up, and
It's them.
they really expect you to go at it. So you're a lot more likely to get something wrong just because you didn't have the processing time. It's a little unfair, depending on the kind of person you are. Here's another mild complaint that I have about this section. It just feels slow. Watch out how slow this part goes. Dodge the no, dodge the no. It's not me. All is separate sentences.
She's the one who poisoned the glass.
And in this case, we're not even going to refute with evidence. This is one of those where we just have to wait for the magical blue statement to show up and hit the X button. Like that. So it just feels like a time waster.
There's no doubt Kurene's the culprit.
Okay, in this testimony, I want to point something out. We have seen the eyedropper in our evidence, and it explicitly said the eyedropper was not used. That's one of the key traits of the eyedropper.
The poison into the glass.
Now, something that this character is about to say is using an eyedropper, but you can't rebut that statement. It's not glowing the right color, so there's nothing you can do about it. So you might think, okay, refute the one that says she used an eyedropper, but look at my options for this testimony. Suddenly, the eyedropper is not there. So even though we have a very clear contradiction, that we need to go with the specific contradiction that they want us to use in this instance, even though she's bringing up something that we already know is wrong. She did not drip the poison right in because she wasn't acting strangely according to people.
The only person on the catwalk. Another member was working the lights.
Now, actually, that's a fair point. There was someone else up there who would have seen her. It's a better point, but that is not what I gathered from the description of the evidence. Oh yeah, we have the copyright-friendly spells that are totally not from Dragon Quest here. Yeah, totally not. There's like 15 seconds between entering the world and getting the cutscene. See, I thought the loading times might add up. Things are just plotting, what I think would be a good word for it. So if you pick the one that isn't an imitation of Zoom, then she just makes a joke about some random effect happening. It's kind of sad that you can't even pick it. During this yellow hallway, I tried pressing some buttons to see if you can skip these scenes on a repeat playthrough, but it turns out the answer is no, you are sitting through this conversation in real time every time.
After that,
welcome to my least favorite minigame. This part is pure padding. We're on a beach, and she's in a swimsuit in a barrel. It's just called the Shinigami Puzzle. The only way the crime was possible was by having an, and you have to shoot the stuff on the spinning barrel to spell the word that they want you to spell. And you can use these for hints.
That's right.
And we're breaking the barrel, so you're going to see more and more Shinigami.
Go, go, go!
Yeah, this is how they decided to replace Hangman's Gambit. And I know that Hangman's Gambit had its own issues,
Go, go, go!
but this is just so simultaneously brain dead and, well, I don't know what else it is. Oh, yeah, there's the fan service. Like I said, just add that to the list. Oh, and giant laser hard eyes. I don't know if that's a kink, but surely the swimsuit is. And I think the knife at the barrel thing is also, but I don't claim to be an expert in that department.
That's right.
This one's a bit of an exception, but usually at the end of these labyrinths you have the true culprit trying to cling on desperately to the idea that they're not the culprit, and we have to go through one final minigame here in order to push them. And don't worry, that's still going to happen. It's just that these guys are a lot more remorseful. Yep, here's the minigame. And I had to make sure that I got to this minigame because it supports a claim that I've been making for a good bit. You know, one of my main complaints with the game is just the over-reliance on Shinigami representing the various kings. So let's get one more, why don't we? Oh, sorry, two. God Shinigami, aka the Giantess.
Let's do this, Master!
Now, this minigame isn't really much of anything. I'd still say the barrel is worse, because in here we have multiple things to do.
No, there weren't any accomplices!
But all you're doing is just quick time actions. If a wall comes up, you have to tackle it.
There's no reason for us to team up!
Here you have to present evidence to the contrary.
You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
Yeah, you can see in the bottom right, there's kick, jump, and tackle. So you just kind of wait for the stuff to show up. That's a cannonball, so you kick.
Don't come any closer! I did it all alone! I don't know about the others.
And they always happen so successively. Like, it isn't until really late in the game when they maybe mix it up a little bit. But even then, you're basically just repeatedly pressing the same button because it's wall, 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 or ball, 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 ball.
You're wrong!
Also, in this particular case, we're using this photo as our only piece of evidence for this whole thing. So there's not even any variety there.
Here I go!
It's not even rhythm, because they give you a little window to do it. You can press it as soon as you see the obstacle come up. Or you can wait a couple seconds.
Lies.
Like that. See, early.
Leave me alone! Shut up! No! No! No!
Now we do one of each. How invigorating.
Hey, stop messing with me!
Oh, we're pressing the same button over again. Oh, sorry, now it's two of each. You just get to... It's very intuitive figuring out the pattern
Stop it!
once they start doing something.
Get away from me!
So yeah, this minigame is nothing more than an excuse to make the giant death god.
Go away!
It's all they wanted. Yeah, I think we had one good track earlier with the rock track that was playing as we were breaking down the dead end walls. But other than that, it's not particularly memorable. Did you think this game would be complete without a knockoff of the final comic from Danganronpa? 'Cause that's what we've got. It works pretty much exactly the same way. You can get the hints from these guys on the panel, and you unlock more options as you fill in some of the earlier ones. She stole the word despair from Monokuma.
The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case.
I am sure there is probably another kink in this cutscene somewhere, so I will leave it in just to add to the point. It's like a magical girl transformation, but for a fallen angel sort of deal. Got the black wings. Oh yeah, this is totally an anime type thing. Off it goes. There goes their souls. Goodbye. Up to this point, I've showcased some of my problems with the writing or the mechanics as they appear in Chapter 2, but the game's got a whopping 5 or 6 chapters or something like that, and my number one issue with Master Detective Archives Ring Code is the ending, which I would say is an insult to anyone who enjoyed Spike Chunsoft's past work on Danganronpa. I acknowledge the games are not perfect, but I do fall in the camp of having played the Danganronpa trilogy and having mostly enjoyed it. This includes the very controversial ending to Danganronpa V3. I won't spoil that one here, but do not go any further in this video if you care at all about spoilers for the ending of Master Detective Archives Ring Code. I will be spoiling everything because I can't talk about this issue without doing that. Throughout the game, your goal is to figure out the ultimate secret of Kanai Ward, the city where it is reigning eternally. You get to a certain point in the game, and you find out that secret. That secret is that there are zombies. This is not a joke. They're not called zombies. I believe they're called homunculus in the game itself. But they're effectively zombies. And these creatures eat human flesh. It is their only source of sustenance. They don't eat normal people food. They eat human flesh. So those meat buns that everyone loves so much are specially made for this city to support the homunculus population, because guess what? Pretty much everyone in the town is a homunculus. And if they were ever exposed to sunlight, then their instinct to eat human flesh would be naturally drawn out. They are pacified by the cloud cover that the rain provides, so they can go about living their lives as normal humans instead of, devouring everyone else in the world. So yeah, that's why someone built a machine to keep rain going over Kanai Ward and all that. Here's the issue with this conclusion. At the very end, as you're putting all the pieces together, you remember that barrel minigame with Shinigami? They ask one very important question as to how you're supposed to prove that the population of Kanai Ward are not human, but homunculus. What did all the murder victims have in common in this game? Pink blood. The reason that I put so much emphasis on the fact that they're using the pink blood again from Danganronpa is because that becomes a central plot point. And it's a giant insult. This is made by the people who made Danganronpa. You're going in assuming that they're just retaining that art style choice, but then they're trying to turn it around and be like, oh, look at you, you're so dumb. You thought blood was pink. As if I wouldn't, having come to this game from the pedigree of the past ones. And that is my number one issue. It completely sours the taste of the game for me. Like, I know that this is different from Danganronpa. It doesn't take place in the same world. You can have zombies or homunculus. You can have the god of death. You can have ghosts. You can have whatever. It's a new IP. You can do what you want. So that wasn't the issue. The issue was the way that the pink blood was presented. And I just can't get over that. It made the whole game feel like a giant waste of time. You know, on top of all the other stuff that makes the game feel like a waste of time. Like the intermittent loading, the speed of those reasoning death matches, all the extra unnecessary dialogue or cutscenes that are only there to insult the player or drive out some sort of fetish. That is the package that Master Detective Archives Rain Code comes in, and that is why I will not be supporting the next game that they put out. That being the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Get me the heck away from that thing. So most of those flaws that I showed you, aside from that little rant I did at the ending, most of that was just contained to Chapter 2. There's at least 4 other chapters where those flaws will continue and get exacerbated even more. The writing amplifies all the flaws that some people have with the Danganronpa games. You have one of the most annoying sidekick characters in history, and frankly the mechanics of solving the mystery do not hit home the same way as the original Danganronpa series. With all that said, thanks for watching, and I just have one final thing to say to Shinigami. Die, death god, die, you gotta, death, die!